All right guys, the time has finally come to get started on painting the Mustang. As you can tell, it's hideous. So we got a lot of sanding, hopefully not a ton of body work, but I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of body work. We're gonna try to get this thing one color. And we got some ponies going on. Finally getting rid of the ugly 10 holes that were on here. I'm not a fan of the 10 holes. This one is leaking atrociously, so I'm gonna have to clean the bead on that one. But the car already looks way better with the pony wheels. So already excited about that. I actually got my mom coming today. She works for a collision company, so she's gonna be helping me sand this thing down, do some body work, and it'll be some good bonding time. So I'm excited. And I've got something. I told my cousin that I was gonna paint the car, and he was like super excited, and he was like, hey, swing by the house, I got something for you. So I'll show you what he gave me. A brand spanking new GT bumper. I mean, like brand new. Never been painted. He had it sitting in a shed, I don't know how long, so that's why I've got the wood pieces in there. I got these pieces of wood, and I've had it sitting in the sun for about a week to kind of straighten it back out, because it was sitting in the shed, so I got a little deformed. But I mean, that is gonna be so nice. What a guy. My cousin really came in clutch, because this one, not only does it have 1,400 layers of paint on it, it's got a pretty big gouge taken out of it there. It's cracked up. He even gave me the fog lights and the brackets to go in this thing to get rid of whatever the heck these fish tank lights are. That's gonna be so nice. Before we get started in this long journey of sanding and prepping and painting, I just wanna thank all you guys for watching my previous videos on this car. You guys really seem to love the car and not hate me, so that's pretty cool. I'm just very grateful for all the support and the growth of the channel's getting. I'm getting pretty close to 1,000 subscribers, which is a huge goal, which it may seem like nothing to most people, but I never thought I would be anywhere near 1,000 subscribers. Kind of just been doing this for fun and for the memories, but I just want to thank all you guys for watching, and it means a lot, all the positive things you say. With that being said, let's get to sanding, I guess. Well, actually, before we get started sanding, there's two things that I need to take care of. One, you see this gap? It is very tight and it's been touching. So the last thing I want to do is get some nice paint on here and then open and close the hood for the first time, and it just chip all the paint off of this side of the hood. So I want to get the hood relatively aligned before I get too ahead of myself, because you see we got a big old gap here, and then this side is, I mean, that's no good. So I want to make sure I don't forget about that. So I'm going to take care of that first. And I'm gonna pull the whole front bumper, headlights, crash bar, all that stuff. I wanna pull it out and get this prepped and roughly assembled. So let's get to it. So I'm just gonna loosen up these hood hinges, and I'm thinking they have some adjustment. So I'm gonna see if I can just slide it over, just see what happens. Hopefully these aren't just up and down adjustments, because it kind of appears that way. Also, after I get it painted, I didn't wanna do this because, as you can hear, banging the wrench off of the fender. Let's see what happens if I just... Okay, nothing happens. Oh yeah, that already looks better. So I'm just gonna warn you guys through this whole process. I am not a painter. I am not a body man. I'm not good with much aesthetics. If you guys see me doing something, you guys are just beating on this computer screen or the TV saying, why are you doing it that way? You're an idiot. Just bear with me. I'm not going for perfection. I'm just trying to get this car one color. I want it white. I want it to look like a decent daily driver. And if I can't get it perfect and it chews the paint up, whatever. We're just gonna go with that for now.
Yeah, you just concentrate on one piece at a time. That's the way I like to do it. You look at the whole picture, it overwhelms you.
Got this little, I don't know, GT body kit piece off. It was literally, whoops, 2 little nuts that were barely hand tight holding this thing on there. That seems to be the case for all the GT body panels on this thing, so I'm surprised it made it home without the car just turning into an LX. This one had a whopping 3 holding it on. I know that some people enjoy body work. That ain't me. I've been dreading this, to be honest. I know you guys are waiting to see it, and I know it'll be worth it when I'm done. I have a pretty sweet car. You know, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I have a lift. But I'm also too lazy to put it on the lift, so I'm gonna wall it around in the dirt because in my mind it's faster. All right, I think we got some stuff happening here. It smells like farm animals under this car. Somebody must have hit a raccoon or something in this thing. It smells like terrible. Let's see if we have lift off here. Oh yeah. Old bumper, she's off. So we gotta move all this crap over to the new bumper. But I'm not super concerned about that right now. All this stuff is in surprisingly really good shape. Like, I feel like it's kind of hard to find a Foxbody that hasn't been like spun out into the ditch before. But this thing doesn't appear to have been wrecked. Unless it was very professionally repaired, but I doubt it. I think she's just a good one. Now to the fun part. Sanding for hours and hours. So I'm gonna be doing all this on the cheap. We've got a sander from Harbor Freight. It was like 20 bucks. Sandpaper from Harbor Freight, and just some painter's tape from Lowe's. It was like $6 or something. We're gonna try to make this whole paint project happen on the super cheap. We'll see how it comes out. I think it won't be bad. It's not gonna be perfect, but I think it'll be a good driver. All right, it's time for a quick little update. We've made some progress. The hood is pretty much ready for primer, other than I just gotta go over it one more time with some finer grit sandpaper. Found one little dent here. Do a little bit of filler on that and it feels pretty good now. There's a dent here, I threw some on. I have to put some more on there and work on this piece a little bit. There's a couple dents here. I mean, the car is really straight, but stuff really starts coming to light when you start sanding and getting all this old primer crap off. But this fender's coming along good. Got the trim off around the windshield. Barely started up this pillar some. It's pretty good. The cowl, all the cowl is like super straight, which is awesome because my other car, the hood flew up and it destroyed the cowl. So I'm not looking forward to trying to fix that one. But over here, this fender has some rust coming through on the primer. So I'm just taking the DA and just taking it pretty much most of this down to bare metal. Because even though it like seems like there's just rust here and maybe none here, that's how it looked up here too. But as I sand down, it's just kind of good little bit of surface rust underneath this primer also. So I don't know if I have to seal this or if I can just put primer straight over it after I'm done. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. So I'm just sanding away. After we get this fender taken care of, I'll also remove the ground effects. Got all that off. It's going to be a pain. My mom was here yesterday helping me sand on this little corner piece of the ground effects, and it's being a pain in the neck. It's super wavy and ripply through here. It's got 100 layers of paint on it. I don't know if you can put these in a sandblaster or not, but if you can, I might have to go buy a sandblaster. The ground effects, they're completely off on this side. Car's looking a little barren over here. Just slowly working my way back. I'm pretty excited. It's gonna be nice. I hope. Fingers crossed. Alright, I've uncovered some dents. One here, you can see I kind of outlined it with a Sharpie. Not too bad, probably just throw some filler in it. But these are all low spots, these are all high spots. So I'm gonna have to do a little bit of massaging on this here, and then I'll just throw a coat of filler on it, block it down. Hopefully we can get it straight. I don't know, we'll see what happens. Alright, so this passenger side fender is a disaster. Not only did I have to take the whole thing down to bare metal, but I got a couple dents marked out. One here, about 50 little ones there, a bunch right there, here, 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 here. I'm gonna try to save this fender. For somebody that knows what they're doing for a body man, this is probably like nothing, but it's a little intimidating for me. I'm just gonna mix up some filler and throw it on there and just try to make it straight. I don't know, we'll see what happens. Got this absolute overkill size thing of filler, a gallon of it. Hopefully we don't need a whole gallon. I took a couple bodywork classes back in college. I don't completely not know what I'm doing, but that was a long time ago. I know the very, very basics of this. Put it on my mixing board here. And from what I remember, you're just supposed to run a bead of hardener, kind of like that, across the circle of filler. I don't have very much time after this is mixed to work with it. I'll try to be quick with it because we got like 100 dents to fill. Oh, we're just gonna have to call it there. That's all we got. So now, just gonna let this dry and then more sanding. I'll take the block to it and sand it down, see if we got any high spots. If we do, then I'll knock them down with a hammer, and then after that, just repeat. More filler, more hammering until this fender is a little more fender shaped. Now we wait. So now that all this is dry, I'm just gonna take a block. I got a pretty long one here. Just gonna pick one of these spots and just block it out until it's flat and see if I need to add more. So I can already tell right here is still low. So I'm gonna have to add some more there and then keep going. But up here feels pretty good. Repeat this process everywhere. Then keep adding, keep sanding until it's straight. Okay, this is where I'm at. Right here, there's a high spot. Right here, there's a high spot. This is low, I need to add more filler. So what I'm gonna do, I already tapped some of these down, but I'm gonna take the little body hammer and just tap all these high spots down, and then put another layer of filler, and then sand it again, see where we're at. And then at that point, we just keep going. This fender is rough. I'm very tempted to just buy a new one, but at this point, it's a challenge, so I'm gonna try to save it, I guess. Here's where I'm at. I'm on my third or fourth Bondo session. Got a little low spot here, but from this section back, I've got pretty good. But up here, it's still a little funny. This is a little high. I'm trying to fix this spot up, but I've been spending a lot of time on this fender because it is so beat up. So I'm just gonna get it as good as I can, and I'm just gonna use this fender as a little test. For one, see how good I can get it. I've heard a lot of mixed things about if it's okay to use something like this under a paint job. Usually I just use stuff like this to just spray over the bare metal spots so it doesn't rust if I know I'm not gonna be able to like do it all at one time. I'm gonna use this primer on this whole fender and we're just gonna see how it holds up. I'm gonna put this to the test, see how it lasts. If it fails, or if my body work, which it very well may be terrible, then I'm just gonna buy an aftermarket fender or a good straight used OEM one or something and just replace this fender because I'm just not a body man and I'm trying my best, but I know I'm not gonna be able to get it perfect. We'll just see what the final product looks like, but that's where I'm at with the fender. I'm about to move on to pulling the mirror and some of this trim and stuff off, like this piece here. I'm just gonna spray this with like trim black or something in the mirror too, just so I can do something different for a minute because the fender is kicking my butt. First thing we gotta do is get this door panel up, which I am pretty happy that these door panels are in decent shape actually. Okay, there's only like one bolt holding this whole door panel on. Then we can move this aside. And there you go, it's out. Dang, can you believe that? Looks like it might be the factory speaker, and this membrane is still like untouched. Looks like it's never been off. That's actually very impressive. I hate that I'm the guy that's got to tear this the first time. That kind of sucks. But we gotta get to the plug, so for the mirror. Maybe I can salvage it. Oh yeah, we didn't have to take very much down. The mirrors are electric, so we got the plug that runs down here. And this is it. So we just gotta pop this off like that. Pull that out there. So there's the plug and everything. Then we got 2 nuts right there, and the mirror should just pop right off. Those 2 nuts off, so this should come right out. Oh yeah. Thing is pretty, it's dusty, but it's pretty weathered. So hopefully I can save it, make it look good enough, you know? All right, that actually sanded down pretty good. I mean, this doesn't need to be perfect. It's just a mirror and it's gonna be like matte black, so it's gonna hide a lot anyways, but it turned out better than I thought. So I got the mirror part taped up, sanded down, and I'm gonna spray it. The mirror actually turned out great. So now I'm just gonna work on pulling off this trim and probably the piece above the door. Get that cleaned up and painted too. Okay, so I've got the fender close, I think. I'm about to prime pretty much the whole fender with this stuff, mainly just to get all this bare metal covered and so I can see a little bit better what's going on and if I need to keep working on it or not. I'm also sick of looking at it, so she's getting some rattle can primer. I'm gonna address those areas below later, but they are covered by the ground effects. But let's shoot this on it and see if it looks terrible or not. I'm gonna let that dry and see what she looks like. All right, the fender's pretty much dry, and honestly, it looks better than I thought. These little blotchy parts are where I went over it again, because there's a little bit of pitting in the Bondo, so I might have to take some glaze over some of that. Like, if you can see that one right there, that one's definitely gonna need some glaze. But overall, looks like a fender. It's definitely way better than it was before. When there's paint on it, it probably won't be perfect, but I'm just gonna try it. So now we just keep sanding. All right, you guys get the idea. I'm just gonna keep going to town on this thing and I'll update you when I have something worth showing. A little bit of a change of plans. So, got that fender primed with the rattle can. It still needs a little bit of work, but it makes me feel better seeing it primed. I feel like I actually did something. So I've kind of just been working my way down the car sanding, and it's a little bit overwhelming. So I'm gonna focus on getting the hood, cowl, and the other fender complete and primed so that the front of the car will be ready for paint. and it'll feel like I'm doing something. All this, because this door I discovered is also full of dents. It's getting a little bit overwhelming. The hood's pretty close. This fender's pretty close. Just gotta scuff up down there some, but I just gotta hit all the edges and then mask this thing off, and I'm just gonna spray some primer on it because I don't want to get burned out on this thing already. So I picked up some Prep All, got some filters and stir sticks, some microfibers, lacquer thinner, try to clean the gun, and I've got the primer and the reducer. So this is the primer I'm using. I don't know much about all this stuff, but this is supposed to be like a high build primer and surfacer. Hopefully to kind of fill in some sand scratches, and I can block it down flat and hopefully it makes things easier. But I mean, this is what the guy at the paint store recommended, so I'm gonna try it. Mixing up this primer, we're gonna start spraying the front of the car. Finally. All right, guys, we got the primer laid down on the front of the car, and I'll be honest, it looks great. I'm gonna have to block it down still, but I needed this. I needed to see the front of the car primered because it's giving me hope that there's an end. So it's gonna need some touch-ups for sure, but overall, everything looks pretty good. I mean, even the fender turned out pretty good. I'm impressed with myself. I mean, when you get the paint on there is really when the imperfections are gonna show. So we'll just see what happens. I'm telling you guys, I needed to see this. So I knew this was gonna be a lot of work, and unfortunately, it's taken way longer than I expected. I'm gonna have to wrap this video up here now that we have some good progress, and it's gonna be a lot of the same thing on the back side of the car, and it's gonna get repetitive pretty quickly in the video. So I'm just gonna keep working on this thing, keep trucking through it, and in the next video, I'll update with all the work I've done. Hopefully it'll be all to primer. At that point, in the next video, we're gonna see paint on this thing. I still have so much work to do, so bear with me. The next video might take a little while, but it's gonna be, man, this car is gonna look so good when I'm done with it. I wanna thank all you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the first part of this little paint series, and like and subscribe.